Well, hello there. This is Big Bible Mini Movies. I am Shaun Jordan, and I have a special treat for you today. I am getting ready to leave any moment here to go to a men's leadership retreat with my church. This is something they do annually. I get to spend time with some of the best Christian men you are likely to meet. And while I am there, I'm going to be searching for character traits of older Christian men found in Titus chapter 2. So I'm going to be observing the men, and I'm going to be giving a lesson on those 6 character traits. Hopefully, I can check each one of them off the list while I am there. And ladies, I did not forget you. If you look in the description of this video, I'm going to list scripture that shows character traits older Christian women should have and how they are to teach younger Christian women. So come along with me for this weekend men's leadership retreat. You're gonna have a great time and learn a little bit more about the Bible. Let's go. Okay, so I had to just pause for a moment because right after I shot this, I left to go to the retreat, and about halfway there, you are not going to believe what happened to me.
So I am not exactly sure what's happening right now.
I'm driving 60 miles an hour in 5 o'clock traffic in the middle of the highway.
Now I am starting to smell antifreeze. I'm thinking that's not the greatest thing.
And I think to myself, okay, that's probably coming from one of the cars around me. I don't think it's coming from me. Then
the check engine light
comes on. And I think to myself, okay, as long as the temperature gauge doesn't light up, I'm going to be okay to make it to the retreat. It might just be a slow leak. And then
the temperature light just came on.
And at this point, I'm trying to assess how close the nearest place I can get antifreeze is, which is a Dollar General, which might be a couple miles down the road. And then
now it is beeping at me. So I'm thinking that is definitely not a good thing.
Now there's cars all around me. There's no good place for me to stop, so I have to weave across the traffic to get over to the shoulder near an exit so I can turn the car off so this thing doesn't blow up on me. So I'm lucky enough that I call my friend Chris, who's also another minister there at Sunset, and he is 5 minutes behind me on his way to the retreat. So I get everything out of the car, he picks me up, and he takes me to the retreat. So this is not how I thought this weekend would. This was not the... I didn't think it would start out like... When we got to the retreat, I filled the guys in on my car trouble, and almost immediately, several of these men privately inquired as to whether they could help in any way. Unsolicited, Brian brought a gallon of antifreeze with him the next day, and Chase texted me that he had left one in front of my stranded car on his way home. This made it easy to check the first characteristic off my list: worthy of respect. In other words, men should be valued and honored for their character, seen in dealings with both people and by their actions. Chris, our youth minister, came up with this team building game, which plainly required a team dynamic. Despite the challenge, you can see the guys enjoying themselves and communicating with each other. Would that be the case with any group? I count 4 of Titus's characteristics embodied by the men during this challenge: a temperate, even demeanor, self-control, soundness of love, and enduring. These men loved each other, had fun together, persevered with little struggle, and were even killed throughout the task. In the end, the challenge went pretty smoothly. After that, we had a couple of lessons on leadership and the future of the church. That game was such a great metaphor. If you follow the example of these kinds of men when you grow through the challenges of life, you endure them with temperance, love, self-control, and endurance. The challenges of life go more smoothly, just like the game did. This is one aspect of the power of mentorship. The next morning, we hung out together over breakfast, discussed the events of the previous night before continuing on our study. Through these conversations about the future of the church, I was reminded how these older men lean on God, but not only in their faith of the future of the church, but in every area of their lives. If you are an older man, do your best to be an example by living out these 6 character traits. If you are a younger man, seek out these kinds of men to be the example. The same for older women. Live out the character traits described in the description. And if you are a younger woman, seek out those older women to be that Christ-like example for you. And my hope and prayer for you is that you do this, that you seek out mentors, that God blesses you with mentors that are a great example of these character traits, and that driving force, their driving force, would propel you forward in spiritual growth in a way you could not receive otherwise. To be able to look towards them, to become like them, to become the Christian that you want to become. It is the most worthwhile of endeavors, and I pray God's blessings on yours.